congressional district next year. So here's the new UMass Lowell poll if you want to take a look at it. It shows Joe Kennedy III holding a 60 to 28% lead over likely Republican challenger Sean Bielat. By the way, Kennedy isn't even officially a candidate. We have Fred Van Magnus, co-founder of political consulting firm Lyric Consulting, here this morning. Does that just mean that his name is enough for people in the 4th Congressional District?
Boy, a Kennedy running for Congress. What a shocker there. I mean, I think this is mostly just a referendum on the Kennedy name, and that'll get you a long way in Massachusetts. But this race is going to be about a lot more than just a name. There's a lot of unemployment in this district. You know, there's a lot of economic development issues. This race is going to be really interesting talking about those issues and what this candidate eventually believes.
Besides the fact that he is a Kennedy, Joe Kennedy III was a prosecutor in the Middlesex County DA's office. He is only in his early 30s, however. Does he have enough experience to do what Barney Frank has been doing for so many terms to keep that work up? I
mean, I think that that's part of what this poll looked at, and that voters are sort of mixed in terms of that experience. I think that he has to define himself and tell people why he has that experience.
But are they even voting on his experience or voting on his family's experience in this poll?
It seems so far they're voting just on his name. They really know nothing about him. He hasn't even said anything about who he is, what he believes in beyond his name. He has to define himself in this race, and I think his opponent will define him too.
We'll talk about the opponent in just a moment. The other thing about Kennedy is that he wasn't even living in the 4th Congressional District.
Right.
He'd been living in his mom's house in Cambridge and is making the transition to live where he needed to be.
Welcome to Brookline, Joe. Welcome to the district. And so he's going to explain to voters why he knows about this district and why his representation could help them. And I think that's a tough sell.
So the potential opponent, Sean Bielat, he ran against Barney Frank, lost, but by a pretty small margin, 11%. And then he went to pursue some other things. Now he's back at this. Do you think he stands a chance against a name like Kennedy? I mean, when he was running against Barney Frank carries weight. You know, his name carries weight.
Yeah, I think he does. I think that he ran a good campaign a couple years ago, and I think he comes in with a lot of strength to this race. But he, too, needs to define himself to voters and offer himself as a clear contrast to Kennedy and what really is, I think, a liberal legacy. And the question is that what the district wants?
Real quick, before we let you go, Mitt Romney, we were saying, is heading to Maine. Is he in trouble with this whole momentum issue after the Rick Santorum sweep?
You know, I think it's a challenge for him, and you know, Ron Paul is doing well in Maine, sort of the previews of it. He needs to come out and just say what he means and say, you know, where he stands on things.
Isn't that always the issue in politics?
Exactly. He's going to be fine, I think, because of his organizational strength.
Fred Van Magnus, Lyric Consulting, thank you so much. We appreciate your time.